If you have a personality and you want to use it as a business, listen up. We're going to hear from one of the best in the business, Headkrack.
Hey out there, it's Lauren Powers, business and marketing coach, sharing stories of bad entrepreneurs turned profitable business owners and how you can learn from our stories to help you grow in your own business. These are real stories, y'all, so it's gonna get real spicy. Pull up, let's get it.
Oh, drum roll, because I am among royalty today. Media personality, hip hop artist. I mean, I said, giver of dad jokes. This is an all around, just good guy. Headkrack, what's up, my boy?
What's going on, Lauren?
Oh, I'm so happy you came to hang out.
I am honored to, be here, and shout out to you with everything you got going on. I've known you and your husband for years, and I've been telling them the whole time, prime time. Do it. Be out there. Be seen. Be heard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are popping. And
Thank
this is
you.
another step in the ascension towards the next great thing you're going to do on top of this, too.
Man, I receive all of that. And, these years that we've known each other and our families have known each other, I have just watched you just literally. You was already blown up, but then you blew up.
Okay, I'm trying to cut back on my carbs, and I'm working on it, okay?
He was training, but yes, I'm not talking about that blow up.
Okay.
Come on, bro. So it's I don't think that people really consider those that use their personality in the magnetic way you do. I don't know if people consider you to be an entrepreneur.
Well, it is entrepreneurial in spirit because, sometimes people get one-dimensional with things.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a radio personality, I'm on the radio, and that's all I do. But I always understood that there was so much more that you could do with your voice. And it be really the lowercase examples sometimes you see in life about how
Lowercase examples, pro tip.
Yeah, behind the curtain. One of my favorite shows growing up was A Different World. Yeah. And a woman I fell in love with on that show was a girl by the name of Cree Summers, who played the character of Freddie. And then once Different World was over, it's how come I don't see Shorty in much no more? And then when you look on the IMDb and you look at the credits, it's oh, not only is she out there? She on everything that I know and love. She was Penny on Expected Gadget, Elmira on Tiny Toon Adventures.
We love Cree.
So she was out here trapping her voice. Trapping her voice, just to make it street for the youth them. You know what I'm saying? She was out here trapping her voice when you didn't see her face anymore and laughing all the way to the bank because in addition to getting paid for doing the job that you do, you also get residual money. Mm-hmm. So she was a vocal entrepreneur, and then she also made an album. She sang, you know what I mean? So there's so many things you could do with your voice because people sometimes be oh, don't look at me, I'm hideous. But your voice, long as you don't smoke cigarettes without the filter, your voice will probably mostly stay the pristine way you came into the game with, through time.
A little sexy raspy, you can make that sexy, Yeah,
it did work for me recently. On a single, my latest single, Mona Lisa Scars.
Yep.
We recorded it at South by Southwest, and the pollen different in Texas.
It's not like Georgia, because Georgia hit hard.
It's weird. I'm immune to the Georgia pollen.
Oh, by now.
In Texas, where I used to live, 3 sinus infections a year. Almost depend on it.
Oh,
you know
Lord.
what I mean? So by the 3rd or 4th day I'm in Texas, if I run out of Zyrtec or I ain't doing
you had the rasp, you had the
tone low.
The icky. Oh, okay, come on, tone low.
Funky Cole Medina.
Okay. So speaking of hip hop, and you got your single out, how did you even get started in this business? How many years ago? I know, what are you, 20, 25?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely 20, 25. Definitely that. So my radio career started 22 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so, if you're doing the math, you're yep.
A little up there.
I started when I was 3.
Yeah. I can't stand you.
But, so I used to be an employee at a fine establishment called Target. One of my favorite jobs I've ever had my entire life. Working at Target.
Okay.
Yo, it was like the show Superstore. Except where I worked, there was a few more blacks and Hispanics.
What were you doing at Target?
So I started as a front lanes cashier.
Oh, you was okay.
And then
fancy.
Then they're yo, you a people person. We want you a customer service. Mm-hmm. He's yo, you got a good voice. You want to be the PBX operator? And I'm hell yes. I'm in the back, writing rhymes, reading magazines.
At Target?
At Target. Because like the PBX operator, if you came after 4 p.m., you would also have to man the clothes change in the room.
Right.
So I'm giving you the number, and I'm also saying, attention, Target guests. The time is now 9 p.m. and Target is now closed. Please take your final items and proceed to the front lanes where you'll be checked out promptly.
And you still remember it, like,
yeah,
I
did that joint for like 3 or 4 years, and it was such a fun gig. You know, like, hey man, food discounts. You see stuff as soon as it comes in,
right.
And it was like, Tinder without the app. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I could see the upside.
Yeah, the break room was the broke off room.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Come on, I can't. Not at the Target.
Sometimes people are the target.
Oh my God! Hilarious. Okay, so you were discovered pretty early on that you're gifted, like you're magnetic. People like hearing you when you talk.
I never really thought about it like that. It's just like, wow, it just always worked out. So while I'm at Target, there was a radio station called 100.3 Jams that used to do this thing called the roll call. But if you call it on a roll call, it'd be like people rapping. And I listened to it. I was like, it's cool, but there ain't no threat level to it. So the first time I got through, I called and I dissed the person before me, and then I set up a bar to diss the person that was gonna rap after me.
Was it meant to be a battle situation? Because you came in with sauce. Did other people?
Just escalated things. I'm from New York.
Oh, okay. There you have it.
We just escalate everything.
So you made it a battle rap.
And then that changed the dynamics of how the roll call was handled from there on out, and they started giving out prizes for who had the best rhyme.
Oh, wow.
On the roll call. And it got to the point where he's like, hey, listen, we're not mailing anything to you anymore. Come get it. So when I would go up to the station and meet people, they'd be like, yo, you cool as hell. Come hang out with me and do the first hour of my show with me.
Wow.
And just hang back.
Up.
So, you get to soak in the knowledge and just see how everything works. And it's like, wow, that's a cool car that guy got. And he works how many hours a day? Just 4? Great.
Let me do that.
Yeah, so it was my senior year in high school.
Oh, man.
And it was all set up for me to be an intern going into the summer of the year I graduated.
Okay.
Right?
You set the stage.
Because I'm 3. And,
he's only a toddler at this point. Yeah.
So like the first part of the story happened when I was 2. But I'm excited. The whole world is about to be my oyster. The station flipped formats. Like the first week in June, fired everybody I knew.
Okay.
So there with that opportunity. Boom. Gone out the window.
Oh no.
Yeah, they blew everybody out and they started playing like adult contemporary like R&B.
It was a whole different thing. Were you known as Headkrack at this point?
Yeah.
So you've always been Headkrack?
I've always been Headkrack. Because like I used to shoot dice in school. And whenever you
wholesome.
Super wholesome. Because like I would take my lunch money for the week and I would gamble with it. And I would use that to make money to buy whatever albums came out that week, to buy clothes.
Jackson, my son, my 9-year-old, don't listen to this episode.
And the cool thing is like being a guy from New York coming to Texas teaching people how to shoot dice. You gotta make it up the rules as I go.
Oh, okay. So there's a Texas dice version.
Yeah, there's real rules, and then there's like Black Uno.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Oh man, you rolled a 4, 5, 6 on your first roll, you lost, bro. Typically you'd win. Damn, man, you just hit a 7.
So you thought that you was running dice.
I was running game
in Texas.
Only to the people who I knew had it.
Okay.
And then like I would so like and there was a song by Brand Nubians called "Slow Down," and the legendary Sadat X is like, yeah, Headkrack, and me knowing that that's what that meant when you rolled a 4, 5, 6 in CeeLo.
That's what that means?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So Headkrack means you won, jackpot. Yo, you won it all. And
you realize I had no idea. I always thought you were just flipping around crackhead because you're just funny and fun and
sometimes
I just thought you was the inverse of a crack. Like
sometimes so the crazy thing is the saga continues. So sometimes when I'm talking to whites who don't know better, I was like, yeah, they call themselves Headkrack because I got an open mind.
It's like, it's like clutch the pearls. Like, okay.
Yeah, but like us, I'll give the real reason because I know like there's a bunch of people who get it. Somebody probably balled their fist up and touched the radio as they was listening to this.
Oh my God, because it's like, oh, that brother, he gets me. Okay. So you kind of had this you didn't get the radio gig because everyone was fired.
Nobody had the gig at that point.
Okay, everybody, station's gone. It's R&B. And then what's the next step for you?
So I did a semester in acting school.
Okay.
And I liked it, but I didn't like the lies that they was telling the people. It's like, hey, you're gonna be a star, and I'm like, nah, not my man.
Not this guy beside me.
They were just taking people money.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was getting what I needed out of it, but they also wanted you to talk without a regional dialect. And I'm like, hey.
Kind of hard to do that.
It's like, yeah, my regional dialect is kind of what makes me me. And, you know, like nobody told Rosie Perez to sound less Brooklyn. They like Brooklyn it up.
And be authentic.
So I didn't want nobody diluting my process. So I left that school and then went back to the community college that I should have went to because
the first day, for a day, should have gone there first, but you tried. Yeah.
Here's the thing. So I had a very tumultuous childhood where like, you know, like it was kind of like parent roulette or relative roulette. Like, who do I live with this year? So me being more concerned about like hanging out and party promoting my senior year in high school, I thought I could apply for colleges like the last 6 weeks. I was like, yeah, let me see what these grades looking like on the way out. Then I'm gonna send my transcript to NYU so I can go there.
So you can get a fellowship.
So I can go to NYU real quick. You know what I'm saying? And then you find out how much NYU costs for out-of-state students.
Sure.
And it's like, oh, yeah.
Let me go to this community college right here.
It is. Brookhaven, big ups. So I went to Brookhaven Community College and they had a thing called survey broadcasting. And I was like, oh, that sounds like radio. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yep.
I ended up getting an internship at a record company. And when I got to this record company, it was Polygram Distribution. It was one of the big, I guess at that time, 7 distribution companies in the music business. It was Polygram, Universal, Sony, WEA, Priority on the major indie side of things, and there was a few
big brands
like
though.
Caroline, Red, a couple other ones. But so I went in there and I hustled my butt off. I started in the mailroom, like just packaging stuff and organizing the point of positioning materials, and then I would talk to my boss at the time, a guy by the name of TJ Miller, and I'm like, hey, listen, I go to parties a lot, and I know how I can help promote your products.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah, and so he gave me materials, gave me a disposable camera because this is pre-cell phone era. And at this time, I'm like 4 doing this, 4 years old.
We're following the progression.
Yeah, I'm 4 years old now.
Still a toddler.
Yeah, I've aged 2 years within like 8-9 months. School. Yeah, but I'm 4, and so I'm going to these events and I'm taking amazing pictures of like me handing materials out to people.
Yeah, for sure. Promo.
So they're like, okay, we like this kid. They gave me a job while I was interning.
At the radio station?
No, at the record company.
Oh, the record company.
Yeah, so they gave me a job while I was working there, while I was interning there. And so I was like, okay, cool. I guess I don't need college anymore. So I finished the semester and the rest was history.
And the rest is history. So is this when the brand of Headkrack really began? Like the true like business of your personality? It
was still like phase 0.5.
Oh, right.
Still wasn't in the I'm like people on the radio knew me from calling in on a roll call, and that had a lot more effect than I thought it would have had. Because who knew that many people would listen to the radio at around 6:30 in the evening?
It was viral before it was a thing, bro.
Yeah, this is pre-YouTube, but like yo, like and no one could see what I look like, but when I would go out, people would be like, yo, Headkrack from the roll call. And it's like, how did you know?
Because your voice is distinct.
But I'm an introverted extrovert. Like, I'm not really like, I would be like quiet unless you knew me, right? So, and I would do like little shows here and there. And I was like literally in high school, like opening up for people like Keith Murray and Onyx. So like I'm passing out flyers and stuff like that to like people who are like too young to get in the clubs anyway. But like, I just want y'all to see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Promotion. You're promoting yourself.
So I had a little bubble going on, but it wasn't until really when I started working for the record company, I started going out to even more clubs and meeting bigger DJs.
Right.
Where like they would let me get on the mic, bust a little freestyle.
I was gonna say, would you freestyle? Because I know you're known for that.
Thank you.
Just busting it down and freestyle. I may challenge you in a little bit, you know. Just you know, I have to tell Kime if you could get a song queued up. Maybe we'll see.
Okay. You know, some license free beats. You know what I'm saying? That won't give us no strikes, so that we can keep the monetization up.
Listen, you business.
Hey, I want my friends to win every lap and at everything they do.
Hey man, fist bump to having your friends win.
Yo, man.
So you had like we're kind of skipping, I know, ahead of a few things, but a lot of people don't realize there's these multiple facets of you. You've got the interviewing, you have the hosting, you have the rapping. Like it's so many things. Because there's the Bodega Brothers. There's just you got a lot of things going on. what is the enterprise like? Like, what are the different arms of Headkrack?
Okay, so on the iceberg tip of what I do, well, I guess based off of what people see me do, there's the media component, right? There's TV, there's radio, right? I do that 5 days a week. You see me do that, so that's probably what most people know me for.
Yeah.
Even to the point where, like, this week, Tamar Braxton, big shout out to her, she has a new single called Changed, and she's doing a Changed open verse challenge, and she's inviting people to jump on the joint.
Oh yeah, I love Tamar.
I jumped on it first. I was the
original.
I was the Crispus Attucks of jumping on the
front line.
Yeah, first to the front line. I took the first shot. And and everybody's like, yo, you killed it. I had no idea you rapped. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, jumping rope. Like, I care about rap more than I care about anything else y'all know me for.
In rap, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd rather people be like surprised that I rap as opposed to being surprised I'm still rapping.
There's a difference.
So you're making new impact and new fans every day. You know,
new people all the time. I love that. So you got the rapping arm though. That's what you're putting more of your emphasis on. What's business like as a rapper?
It's really tough because the processes change all the time. Like, when I first started getting into the game, it was about street visibility and awareness, having a song on the radio, being on the right tours, getting the right people to write about you in magazines, right?
Because we still bought those at the time.
Yeah, and now it's about like
Instagram,
people being able to do a little silly dance or challenge to your song, or like, oh, such and such is beefing with blah blah blah, or
seriously,
it turns into everything but about the music these days. It's about like the hook of your song and not necessarily the whole song. Like, songs are coming out like that'd be like a minute and 36 seconds.
But like with all that unpredictability of like how the trends and things change, how can you establish yourself or your footing? Like, are you just changed with it?
It's like, like going outside and hoping to be struck by lightning.
Oh,
okay. It's that random far as like, because I know so many talented people who have amazing songs who should be...
that nobody has heard.
Yeah, who should be like diamond selling artists just based on creativity and merit alone, but you don't have enough scandal behind you.
So it really is like that.
It really is. I mean, artists talk about all the time, like, yo, the label wouldn't put my album out because like I'm not popping on TikTok. And it's just like, yo, you 52.
Oh.
And you rap good. You don't need to be on TikTok. Like, if everything goes according to plan, hopefully, like by the time I exit this business, hopefully I can create the wave that creates an adult contemporary hip hop category.
I love that. Because that's actually what I desire.
Yeah.
Adult contemporary hip hop.
Because like, Common shouldn't be competing against
Lil Uzi and
that was definitely the name I was going for too.
It makes sense.
The antennas is up. We're on the same frequency. But like, but Lil Uzi Vert does amazing stuff in the Lil Uzi Vert space, and so does Common. Common make music for people who pay taxes. Lil Uzi Vert make people who might get taxed.
Speak on it. And you know what you're touching on though, like in business, you have a niche. You absolutely have an audience that you will attract people that you want to speak to, and most of the time, business owners and stuff don't even think of themselves that way. You have a whole category.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes to be able to partition your brain to think about every aspect of everything from every side of it. How does this feel as a consumer? How does this feel as a participant in it? How does it feel from the person who has to maybe like run security? How does it, and it can drive the typical person crazy, but if you were crazy already, you were just there. You're already here.
You're just a little bit deeper crazy.
Yeah, table set.
Okay.
So it does make it difficult, and it's very important for every entrepreneur, no matter what it is you do, to have a team. Like somebody who can believe in the stuff you do as much as you do. Like I have a very dope manager who will challenge me on things, and will also aid and abet me in the things that I want to do. Like even like, yo, I want to fight.
Oh yeah, we were all there for that one. It was great too.
Thanks,
very well done. So
and
fun.
Most people would be like, no, are you crazy?
No, it was fun.
It was fun to watch for y'all. It was stressful for a person who knew he was gonna be fighting, especially
hit.
And my opponents kept changing. Like, I was like all confident, like, yo, you gonna be fighting somebody from Love and Hip Hop. That nigga's dead.
Oh,
can I curse?
Yeah, you
good. And then when it switched from that to like, yo, you're gonna be fighting the son of Kimbo Slice.
I remember that. We were there.
It's like,
yes.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
So you've had to you've adjusted, you've adapted, and you've witnessed a lot. You've been, 20 some years. It's nothing to sneeze at. What have been, you call them fail ups, where do you feel like you made some missteps while you built this brand with your personality?
I definitely failed on the first half of my radio career when I was doing stuff with Keynote and Super K. That's who I started my radio career with. We had a night show called The Show, and we didn't really do a great job of archiving and just highlighting all of the groundbreaking, ridiculous things that we did on the air.
Like interviews,
pranks, just the way we moved in a way that no one else was moving at that time. Like, we literally would do things like, hey, if our last break was at 9:50, all right, listen, y'all, we're gonna be in Arlington in an hour.
Yeah.
Meet us in the parking lot of Jack in the Box, we're black. And we'd pull up and it'd be like 50, 60 cars outside. And
Are you serious?
And we would treat them all the jumbo jacks or something like that.
What's up.
Just as a way to
And you didn't record the content.
I mean,
or archive it rather.
So at this time, I'm 5.
Oh, yep. So we don't quite have a phone and devices
and they had
cars.
They had a thing called flip cam. And for anybody who ever had a flip cam back in the day, it shot like he was shooting stuff on a pine cone.
I'm sure, yeah.
And it was like, 2 megapixel video.
It's real pixelated,
Yeah, so you're better off just taking 8 pictures and just making them flip. You know what I'm saying? So we just weren't thinking about that, and YouTube was just becoming a thing.
And it still wasn't a thing when YouTube recently became a thing, in my opinion, within the past 10 years.
Let's see. I would even stretch it all the way back to maybe 2004 is when
YouTube was not popping.
More types of content started coming up, but
Facebook was emerging in 2004, 05.
So we're literally having to argue with the program directors we should put parts of our show on YouTube.
And they're like, what? No, that's crazy.
We got to put it on a station website.
So,
and I'm like,
oh God, you see how things have changed.
But no one comes to the station website. You have to put stuff where people are so they can maybe stumble across us. That'd be great if people just happen to stumble across us.
When now you just show up, or rather just show up, and it's a full party. When you just love to just show up.
Yeah, a major portion of my radio career was explaining to people who are so smart they didn't understand anything. They cross that weird threshold of yo, I'm a genius, but I'm so smart, I'm dumb.
I'm so smart, I'm dumb. So all right, so with yourself and your failures and the mistakes that you've made, hopefully you only made mistakes once. Are you a repeat offender of some of your fail-ups?
I won't make the same mistake over and over again. But what I'll do is, you'll just try different things and just see how it works out. Even with the process of releasing music, I was stuck for a long time in the old school regimen of yo, I'm going to harness all these songs until I get a record deal. And then I'll start putting these songs out, and then you have a bunch of songs that, maybe you can put them out, maybe you change that line, or you can't say that anymore in public, so you're going through and tweaking things and figuring out what's usable as opposed to going with the process that people go with now. It's yo, create, put it out, create, put it out, create, put it out. But you also still want to work the stuff that you're putting out, especially if you believe in it. So that process is a part of it that I'm getting a lot more better at, because even if you look at my Spotify and my title and all that stuff, you'll notice that I've been a lot more active in the last 2 or 3 years. It's it would be 07. 2013.
Right. You know what I mean? A 6-year gap. But you have been extremely consistent with the content and with everything. What would you say is, would people describe you, Headkrack as the the personality, as the rapper, versus Headkrack as the business person? What are the major differences? Because I know for me, when I get in business mode and coaching mode, it's bitch city.
Well,
so what about you? What's the difference?
I think you got to be aggressive in business, right? And because I like to be the velvet glove over the iron hand, thank God I have a manager who handles a lot of the...
Yeah, you delegate.
Yeah, the head-to-head business aspects of it, so I could just create. Because it's weird. You know how people say, like, I don't like confrontation.
Do you love confrontation?
Only physical.
Oh, but you want people to hit you?
I'm a Neanderthal. Like, you know, from like...
I know, from the Stone Ages?
Yeah, like...
So you just want to, just meet people and just start bumping chests?
Hey, can we fight about this? Like, physically, and like whoever wins gets their way?
But
like,
why?
I don't know.
Violence?
I'm working on that part of myself. It's not about violence sometimes, because like sometimes, like, you know, people will try to pull a fast one on you. And it baffles me.
Especially entertainment, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I feel that enough people didn't get their butt kicked through time.
The way that they talking and the way that they approach you with
and
some of
the things that they try to do, and they think that they
can't be right.
get away with, and it's just like, oh, you've never been punched.
So what's one of the craziest, like, messed up, I guess, contract things, whatever you want to share, that you've been like, this is what they gave me? Let me slide that right back.
Yo, I can't even lie to you, Lauren. Like, a lot of it was self-imposed. Like, so even when we got into radio, like me, Super K, Kino, we had this fine, like, steak dinner establishment, right? And they was like, talk about, like, so how much would you guys want to do this show? And I was thinking about what I was making at the time.
Yeah.
And how I
you want to make more than that, right?
Actually, I was okay making just what I was making at the time.
Hilarious.
So, like, I was like, hey, fellas, I got this. And then I said this, like, yo, ridiculously low amount.
Oh, no.
To where they couldn't wait. They're
like, $500, yes.
If they could have dipped a feather pen in the blood of the steak and signed the contract right then, they would have.
So it's self-imposed.
It was self-imposed because I was one of those, I was always operating in the space where, like, all right, cool, money is great, right? And yes, we want to make some, but don't be so greedy with the amount of money that you ask for that when things go wrong, you're the first on the chopping block. It's somewhat of a strategy because, like, you know, like, hey, get what you need.
Yeah.
And then get what you can once you get on the inside. That was kind of my approach.
Did it work?
It did work.
Okay.
Because we asked for a ridiculously low amount of money.
So when you got inside, though.
We was like, hey, we're going to need more money.
Okay, that's what you said. I was like, did it work? Okay, so we flipped that thing around.
It took about like 4 to 6 months for us to, like, prove ourselves. And it's like, wow, these guys aren't losing.
Yeah.
Because they brought us in there. It's like, yeah, maybe we could be 10th place or something like that. I'm like, yo, why would you do anything to be 10th place?
Like, who competes for that?
Yeah, like, there's not even a medal for that. Like,
so 10th place medal.
You could have not practiced and still made 10th place in the Olympics. You know? So we went in it and just worked hard and just did everything that everybody else wasn't doing. And we quickly became top 5 in the market and eventually, like, you know, became number 1. And we're beating people that they were paying like $1 million to come in and beat us.
And you asked for $500.
Yo, we was doing it at like Groupon rates.
Oh no.
But we ended up getting more money, and then, but I think the fact that we wasn't trying to break the bank, and it was 3 of us, mind you. So a 3-person night show isn't normal.
And it should be very expensive.
It could have been. So I also had the foresight on that to where, like, yo, I don't want them to, like, figure out which one of us or which 2 of us they're going to keep. So I was thinking about the long game, but I wasn't thinking about everybody's financial needs. I was thinking about, I can honestly say I was low-key thinking about, like, well, this is what I'm making and I'm cool making this. So, hey, I want everybody to make this.
So you got a much bigger vision and deeper vision now. So you say your rates, the clock starts running, like you do your thing now.
I mean, but I also assess, because, like, once again, it goes back to, like, you know, you partition your brain from a consumer standpoint, the promotions person standpoint, the business standpoint.
All angles.
So it's like, all right, cool, you're doing this event. How many people does the venue hold? All right, they probably charge you XYZ to rent out the venue. Then you got to pay a DJ, security, sound man. How many openers do you have? And da-da-da-da-da.
So smart.
All these things.
Smart.
So, like,
work backwards.
You don't want to over ask for so much money to where, like, yo, there's no way that they could pay you that amount based on everything that's going into it. And if, like, you do something for somebody and they lose money, they're probably not going to call you back a second time. So that's why I'm always willing to, like, kind of, like, assess the situation.
Yeah, and see what the big picture is.
Yeah, and, like, all right, cool. Like, so maybe, like, you're not necessarily paying me in money, but what other opportunities are there? Like, people always have to stop chasing money and sometimes chase the other opportunities, the other things you could align yourselves with. Like, all right, cool. Maybe you didn't pay me what I felt my rate should be, but there's a person there that does teeth whitening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
get my teeth hooked up and we straight.
Right. So yeah, you pay me this, I get my teeth white, and yo, do you have like any place where I can shoot a music video and you could, like, you know anybody who like films? Yo, send that person there. Yep. Give me the content. Leverage other things.
But you're open to that though too. Sometimes entrepreneurs get their ass on their shoulders and they're like, "What, you not paying me? I ain't doing it," or not even willing to discuss what the bigger picture could be.
True.
You know, and I think that's an important lesson though. Just being open, like to talk about what's okay, you can see the money in the future, even if it's not right here at this moment. And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, I would rather eat with you 5 times than eat with you once. You know what I'm saying?
You're so sweet, Headkrack.
It's the like, are we building something or not? Like,
I know, let's build.
Think of your favorite stores. If you went to Walmart and Walmart overcharged you, are you going back to Walmart?
No.
I went to Saks Fifth Ave twice, and I knew that I didn't need to go back no time soon, or I knew when it was time to go back to Saks, because, like, man, stakes is high over there.
Yeah. Like, okay, so you're talking about building, you know, and how important is legacy for you? Because you're an individual brand. So can your kids carry on the Headkrack brand? Like, how does that play out for you and your kids?
So for me is creating something and using nepotism very strong.
So he's going to work for you. He's going to work there. Okay, I got you.
You know, it's just like the people who are like, you know, like iPhone cord colored do, you know, sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like they put their family and their kids in a position to where they can keep the money in the family, keep the, you know, the longevity and the legacy going. Yeah. Like there's a project that I'm working on right now that like I'm trying to make sure my kids are involved in it in multiple ways. No, so you know, God forbid if something happens to me, you still get residuals every time the intro to the show plays or something like that plays, or even teaching them like some of the things that you do, because if you work for other people, you will probably always end up working for other people. Mm-hmm. But if you could figure out how to do a skill or bring something to the table that other people can't bring, you become so valuable.
Yes, and irreplaceable.
Honestly. And a person who was often utilized and not necessarily used. Yeah. Because there's a fine line between those two. So I want to teach my kids those things and just set up things to where like, hey man, like, you don't necessarily have to do the exact same 1, 2, 3 steps that I did, but here's different ways you can do it based on the skill sets that you have.
Oh my gosh. So I want to challenge you when you get home to ask your boys, because our youngest kids are about the same age. I did career day at my kids' school earlier this week, and they could not articulate what I do for a living. What would your kids say if they asked, you know, what does your dad do?
My 4-year-old would say my daddy's Headkrack.
That's just it.
And I feel like my 8 and 10-year-old would say that too, because
just Headkrack.
It's such an umbrella of things. And the crazy thing is like the dynamic is my middle children. You know, my oldest is if I'm 6 at this point or 7.
So he's like at least negative
2. We're in the negatives. So like my oldest, he's been around this the whole time. He's been around me as the radio guy who eventually ended up on TV. He's came to some shows. He's watched me win rap battles. So he's just used to it. This is the life he knows. But then my youngest kids, they know the fruits of the benefits of the work that I put in when I was a single dad with a 3-year-old. You know what I mean? So they just know me as this guy who's on TV every day, who, when they get in the car, go to school, you hear me on the radio and I have songs on Spotify. And every now and then I could take them to the movies, and the people that's in the movies will be at the movies. Yeah. It's the life that they know. So I don't even think they know how to adequately explain all of it, because it's just like, all they know is dad goes out and work.
Yeah, and does a great job at it too, by the way.
Hell, I try my best, and I just always keep something on the back burner, because like I just
always cooking.
I get bored easily, and I came to the realization a couple weeks ago that a lot of times people will have like this one idea that they run with until the day that they die, and I don't have enough lives to do all the things
all your
I want to do.
Yeah, that's the fun. That's the gift and a curse of being creative.
Oh, it's sometimes like soul crushing, because like you know you want it, because like some things require all of your attention. Like some people do music and that's all they do, and they lean 100% into music, and maybe they get the results they're looking for, maybe they don't. Some people live, breathe, sleep radio, didn't have even 2% of the career I had. I did the job, I went home, I was outside so I could be aware of what the people were talking about, what they're into, but I wasn't in the DNA fabric of radio like some people are. And for those who are, God bless you. You know what I mean? But I also watched enough people get burnt in the business to be like,
I've witnessed it too.
Have loyalty to it, but understand that this is the mafia.
Do you feel like you'll go back to radio? Because, you know, you were very well known in Atlanta and nationally.
I'll definitely go back to radio. And this story, the day I left, the phone rang. And then it rang again.
He was in the car about to.
Then it rang again. And it's just like, I didn't want to go right back to work because I've been working since I was 2.
But we're only 4, so only a couple years.
Yeah, but
and working and getting up every single morning. Like you are early morning. What time you have to be at the station?
I would have to be at the station at like 5:45.
Yeah, that's a grind every day though.
It is a grind every day, especially when you go to sleep at midnight.
Yeah, you have ideas, right? And you have ideas, and you're just creative, and then you have to be on.
Yeah,
on and on.
My ideas keep me up at night because I want to do so much, and I always get so frustrated. Like, oh man, I still needed to go do this. I need to go do that, but I feel like the second that I don't have anything that I feel like I'm striving or fighting for, I feel like, hey, that's the time, God gonna be like, all right, fam, let's go.
No, we're not there. We're not checking out just yet, though, because you still got a lot more to give. What's on the horizon now? Okay,
so, aside from the singles that I got out right now, Mona Lisa Scars, and the visuals that are coming like behind the rest of this project called Microdose, which is a 5-song EP.
Yeah.
It's a self-help EP.
Hey, talk to us about it.
I think, more so than ever, like people are going through something psychologically.
There's an energetic movement.
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
Whether I'm watching like real TV with actual commercials or something streamed where they just throw commercials at you, all these like self-help, not self-help, but like, do you feel like you're, mentally not well?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the ease of access to everything and just the pressures on society and just all the constant content coming at us at all times, I think it's really doing a lot. It's doing a number on a lot of us. And sometimes the number one component to make you feel better is music. And as opposed to creating like low vibrational shoot, kill, rob music, I wanted to make music that'll make you feel dope about yourself. Or make you feel dope about what it is you gotta do. Even holding the mirror up to yourself and be like, hey, sometimes you, like my lead single, Violence, it wasn't about violence against other people, it's violence against you and the things that are holding you back, which is sometimes yourself.
Say it.
Yeah, and sometimes people run from that. You know what I'm saying? I know some people who they'll tell you everything about yourself, but as soon as you start to tell them, well, you do, I don't got time.
Oh, that's the whole purpose of this platform for me, just because I know I be messing up all the time and I'm learning from it and I want to share just like you're sharing because people need to hear. There's a movement happening where people, they're trying to crack through, to their next best self, to get better. And I love this adult contemporary hip hop. Is this what we're going to get in this category?
Because I feel like, there's certain rappers who are like the Patrick Ewings of rap, should have got a ring, but didn't
get the ring.
But didn't get the ring.
Yeah.
And they always say rap is a young man's sport, but some of the best rappers rapping are actually guys who've been around for a while, like Rick Ross. Like whatever he talks about, like usually the moving of drugs, it sounds amazing.
It does.
it makes
we all chant it. We all rap it.
But anytime Rick Ross drops something for 45 minutes, man, I'm with Pablo and them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. In my mind, I am.
Yeah, it's cinematic. The same way you watch a gangster flick. I know how to separate the art from real life.
Yeah.
And even like people like 2 Chainz, De La Soul, when they came out with that album a couple years ago, and I hope they continue to soldier on and still work, even though we just lost Dave. A lot people who came into this business and still want to create, they should be able to create and have a place to create where their stuff will be heard.
Yeah.
And I'm working on some other things that will actually also help a lot of the pioneers in hip hop continue to eat for years.
Can you share? Can you give us a tidbit?
Okay, so in addition to, I even became a Grammy board member just to try to
Just to see, just to peek, like, see.
I'm on the other side of the wall
Yeah.
now. And just the same way I did with radio, I'm on the other side of the wall. I'm going to try to get y'all songs on the radio, independent artists, and I'm going to try to tell you about some new dope stuff that didn't get the right promo. So now I'm on the side of the wall. All right,
Paying
cool.
it forward.
All right, when's the next big meeting where we can pitch ideas? Because I got a couple. You know what I'm saying?
What's up.
So it takes getting in and understanding the process so you can even understand how it works, as opposed to just be like, well, how come they don't,
Yeah, I just want to be a personality, or I just want to wake up and do it.
Gotta be proactive. So I'm working on a kid's show.
Okay.
I can't say the name publicly right now, but I'm working on a kid's show, and it's gonna be the wokest kid's show ever made.
So fun.
And I think the best example, you ever seen Yo Gabba Gabba?
Yeah.
You remember how they would bring Biz Markie on there and like he would teach the kids how to beatbox? Yes. That did so much for Biz Markie because not only did people 30 and up know who Biz Markie was, now 5-year-olds know who Biz Markie is. So that made a bridge from Biz, kids 5 years old, all the way to like 50 plus. And so what does this look like in 2023? So there's things that I'm gonna do where I'm gonna have a lot of legends come on this show.
Can't wait.
And do new things for the kids in such a cool, hip, and slick way to where this will actually also give them that extra lifeline. So now the kids can know who they are. Because that's one of the biggest things in like urban music.
Yep.
Kids, I don't know who that is.
We're losing the legends, losing their connection to the legends.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I know you can't say
If you could do a mashup between like an old school and a new school artist, who would you put together?
Oh my God, that's such a great question. Old school, we gotta stick with hip hop.
You don't have to. There's no rules here.
I would do SWV and Escape. No, I'm kidding.
If you know, you know.
If I could do an old school artist, so for me, CNN, Capone Noriega was my area.
Yo.
So I know. So I would do CNN with there's no like groups like that now. So I would probably pick Lil Baby.
Why not?
Like, let's see who could talk the fastest.
Lil Baby is a rapping rapper.
He snaps.
Yeah.
Hard. So I'm just like, I could see, this edgy East Coast, hardness with, the young, fresh dude.
Where you from originally?
I don't know. It's like Virginia and Ohio, but I'm in here 20 years.
Okay, understandable.
So but I'm a Wu-Tanger. Like, that's my era.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Because, I used to argue with program directors all the time. Women don't like hardcore hip-hop. And I'm like, but they do.
Oh, my gosh. Like, when I'm in the morning, like, setting my intentions and manifesting and burning sage, I have a playlist that's called Female Rap Goes Hard. And it's just nothing but very angry lyrics from aggressive people that want to be great.
Yeah.
So, why not say a bitch and a hoe before you go to work?
Sometimes, you gotta exercise those demons so you don't exercise them when you get to work.
Exactly. So, but I do. But to bring it back to your category, honestly, I can't hear the ratchet all the time. So, nice adult contemporary hip hop. If that station, does it exist?
It should.
Are you come on? Like,
I think the people tried, and what they thought that looked like was old school hip hop.
No, and that's still great though. But it's like common in them.
Yeah, like some of your favorite artists from the 90s and early 2000s are still making new music.
Yeah.
And you feel like they're too old to be on the hip hop station, but they're making hip hop at a high quality level. Yeah. So where do these people get to go? But same thing with some of the R&B acts you mentioned. There was a weird pocket of time where like New Edition was too hip for adult contemporary, but too old school for the hip hop stations. So what weird musical purgatory do you put them in? I just saw them perform last night
at State Farm or what's the name of Mercedes-Benz? Where were they? The big one.
Those places.
Huge. It was a big show.
Depending what year you listen and watch this,
it's the same.
the crypto.com. Yeah, but they packed it out. Them, Keith Sweat, and Guy.
Guy was there?
And Tank, yeah. All three of the guys were there.
I'm sure Tank put on a show.
He did.
I'm sure.
He opened it up, so I missed it, but I heard he killed.
Yeah.
Killed. But urban music shouldn't be disposable.
Oh,
it's not disposable.
It's not.
And there should always be a place where creators who want to create can get their stuff heard. And I think when we lost platforms like Yo MTV Raps, 106 in Park, even though it became a little label controlled,
all that stuff.
You need places to where you can see content. So also going back to the kids show, all these artists who make socially redeeming music will also have a place to get their stuff
said
showcased
music to be heard
on a kids show. Like if Nas wasn't Nas, no one would have ever played I Can.
You're right.
It was the fact that Nas was as strong as he was the year he dropped that allowed it. And like my 4-year-old knows that song word for word. And it's not because I played it for him.
I love it.
It's just because it's a song that stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And it had socially redeeming value. Like a lot of food music that come out, it's going to age like an avocado when you slice it. You know what I mean? But like stuff that like really can nourish the soul.
Timeless.
And have like, like children's story.
Timeless.
That story still matters. You know, so I want to create that platform to where, like, if you got something to say and you raising the vibrations of our people and teaching them how to, better navigate life, so they don't end up, on some substances that they can't shake or, find themselves in a situation they can't get out of because they didn't have like a rhyming thing to tell them, say, no, go and just walk slower. Something, we want to create that thing so we can instill these little gems early. Like, when's the last time you seen a show teaching kids how to meditate?
I ain't seen it.
Yo, man.
We finna have that.
Yo,
our baby's gonna be sitting like this, setting intentions and meditating and repeating.
That's how the intro starts. The
through.
kid comes in, meditates, and then I can't give away too much.
Too much. So okay, you kept saying creators want to create, and we're about to wrap up because you just dropped so many nuggets. Do you feel like creating right now?
Always.
Like, I don't know, Kym, if we have a little beat, the podcast, Bad Entrepreneur, what we're talking about. Show us some on-the-spot creation.
Okay, is there a beat? I think that's what these headphones are for.
I don't know what those connect to.
Okay, I hear something. So give me topics just so I can kind of get in my pocket.
Bad business.
Bad business, don't do it.
Yeah.
I get to it, skip to my Louis and walk through it. I got bad business, and it really makes me nervous when you go to a spot and they got poor customer service. Places that got no ketchup packets. No napkins in my table, man. That's not even in my bracket. I can't hack it. I walk out with haste, and if you got bad business, I'ma leave that place.
Hey, did you pass it to me? I got on this mic, and I heard that it's free. What you got? I'm on this freestyle, I can't hear, but I'ma come through and bust you in your ear. Let's go. Yo, I had a bad past, so what I decided to do was make a podcast about all my shit. You know it's lit. I hope you can learn. Please share my shit. Hey!
Like and subscribe, you know the vibe. If you with the bad entrepreneur, you with the tribe. Got my homegirl Lauren.
Hey.
She far from boring. Don't worry, be happy, just like Bobby McFerrin or Bobby McFerrin. I'm tearing into the instrumental. I'm far from simple. Yo, we going hard and gentle, smooth but rough. Like Ike and Tina Turner.
Hey.
If you have bad business, I'ma come through with them burners. Not the burners, not the guns. Yo, I'm talking about the stove. Anyway, we switching the mode.
That was awesome.
That's fun, man.
That was fun, right? I feel like I'm a rapper, like inside. Y'all, Headkrack, where can people find you? Tell us where you're at. Tell us the projects. Let us know.
Yo, I'm gonna be outside with the Atlanta water boys selling water.
$1.
Yo, those dudes are aggressive. I need the Muslims to like scoop them up and be like,
teach them how to do it. Right.
Because like the way they sang the bean pies, it was like, the Muslims did it. It was a little forceful, but like I didn't feel as threatened.
They out there. They try to, but they entrepreneurs too. Give them $1.
Or they'll take it.
This is true.
Like every time I go to the corner, I think you know the corner I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah.
Yo,
I know exactly.
You know that scene from Belly when they went to Jamaica and the kids was running alongside banging the gun on the window?
That's them. And they have scooters and stuff too.
I did the illegal U-turn to get away from the one. I busted a hard right, then I did that hard U-turn left by that Burger King. You know what you know about.
I know exactly. But you ain't slinging quarter waters and none of that. So
nah,
what
man,
you doing?
I'm out here, man. Selling hopes and dreams to everybody, man. HEADKRACK on all social media. Follow me on YouTube. I'm doing more content because I have a little bit more free time and
a little free time in the mornings.
Movie reviews and also music videos and other engaging content. And I cannot wait till we roll out this kids show, man. Because
I can't wait.
I'm just so excited, and even the way it came together, it was just so organic. You know how
it's the best ideas, the best things happen just from the people the people you surround yourself with. Because I'm sure are these new people that are helping you with this show, or you got some folks that
it's a mix. It's
trusted folks.
Some people who I do comedy with on Sundays. shout out to Control Combo, my man, Big Play Ray, my man Kay, everybody over there, like, so they're helping me with the writing. And then like I was doing something with the Brat one day. She's an entrepreneur.
She is.
And her wife Judy, they have the kaleidoscope thing. So
which I use myself actually.
Did it bring the edges back?
It did. My edges was struggling. Okay, listen.
Does it work for men though?
It does, just a little drop here and there.
Okay, cool. Like,
beard, head. Well, you would have to cover all of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need like not like drop, not the drops, but I need like a whole bucket.
The sled, right?
Yeah, but so I'm at this event, like working, hosting this thing with Brat, and then this guy just makes his way out of the crowd, like, hey, listen, my name is Mike. I have puppets. I'm a puppeteer. I have over 100 puppets.
What Mike want?
And I'm like, Mike, you know what? I don't know why this is an important meeting, but this is important.
It's so important. Like, I would stop everything to talk to him.
Sometimes when somebody give you a card, you put it like in your back pocket or a pocket that you know is going to get crushed as soon as you put your phone in there.
That.
I folded that piece of paper very neatly and placed it inside my wallet because I knew it was important.
Right.
2-3 weeks later, as I was contemplating quitting my job, I was like, my kids were in the backseat listening to Sesame Street, like season 1 and 2, and I'm like, and they're at this point I'm 9.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Just to keep.
Got to keep the timeline, guys.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, we need a better, newer version of this that speaks to kids like they tough. And
make a new version of the damn entry.
I mean, I don't even want to tell you like what this show is a mixture of, because I don't want nobody with like faster resources and a little bit more time than me to whip it up quickly. But
how soon is it dropping this year?
We're shooting the first couple episodes like in the next couple weeks.
Let's get it.
As soon as I get back from this cruise, and then like
you going full throttle.
Lights, camera, action.
It's a crazy.
But I was like, yo, that's why the puppet guy found me. I called the puppet guy, and the puppet guy's like, yo, I'll do it for free.
What?
Then I'm like, okay, cool. Called another person. Yeah, I'll film. Then I went to like Baltimore, ran into somebody's like, randomly's like, I get 501c for people who make educational content.
You better do it.
When those things start falling in alignment,
right.
God wants you to do what you're doing. So I will never be disobedient to the signs they get. Like, some people need like to be like, they need literally sometimes God to show up and knock a bottle over.
Hit them in their face.
Yo,
like, give you a black eye. Nah, I don't need that.
I just need him to whisper.
Just a little tap. That's all I need.
My antenna's up. I always listen. So follow me on HEADKRACK on everything, and you will see and hear about all these things as they develop.
Absolutely. Headkrack, thank you so much. This has just been fun. Once that show drops, we're going to get you back on here again to just like talk it up. I can't wait. Y'all, thank you for tuning in. I want you to like, share, and subscribe this podcast everywhere that podcasts are available at The Bad Entrepreneur Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram at IamLaurenPowers.com. See y'all next week.